Hey, Toby. I'm still working on the details for getting the pricing, but I thought I would at least show you what direction I'm going here and also get your feedback on a couple of the smaller details. So this is a 3D where I've taken those doors off. So these are the cubbies like that you can put those linen cloth bins in. Here's our island with drawers on both sides. This part here, I've got to manipulate a few things between these two platforms, but we're doing shelves here. Now, what I want to talk about in this point is that these, with this version, need to be 12 inches deep because when I spin this, this center section actually put in, I thought it would be neat to have angled shoe shelves. So these might be for some of your most very favorites, or, it's almost like a trophy case kind of. But they need to be 12 inches deep in order to be able to have the capacity to hold the shoes. So that would be one question. If you think, you'd rather just go 10-inch shelves here, which is, although then the other thing about the 12-inch shelves is that I've added these on the end, these decorative corbels, which are, I'm going to show you a picture of those. And then I also, here and on the island, have those same feet that are on that dresser in your bedroom, so that makes this look much more furniture-like. The other thing I'm thinking here is if you're still going to keep the office-y things, I really liked the idea of a couple of drawers here that could just kind of hide some of that if you wanted to dump it there and not have it sitting on the countertop. And I am planning to have a grommet here, which means we can, plug things in and run them up through the hole here, and you can be able to access that to plug some things in if you need to charge anything or you want to plug in your laptop, that kind of deal. So this, I like the decorative corbel idea when you come in because I just think that looks prettier. Okay, so if we shift that, so there's drawers here like we had before. Also, the other idea I came up with is that we want to do these tops, potentially, I'm going to see how it prices out, in wood, but with a tiny strip of a stainless inlay around the edges, which would be so cool and would tie into the legs and the corbels. And then, we would still need to pick hardware for your drawers. But if you like the corbels, I could order one as a sample, and that way, and a foot right here, one of these that we would use, and then that way we could use those to go look at hardware so that we make sure we like the way that it should be pretty harmonious, but they are different manufacturers, so it's like the beauty of a fine fabric. It's, you see the weaves, it's never an exact matchy-matchy, but that really just goes to show you how awesome it is. So this is the 3D version. Shoe shelves here, hanging. Your longer hanging is in the reach-in closet. Cubbies up here, island, and then this, again, ends up being predominantly for shoes, then a place to stash your stuff. So I wanted to at least show you that. And now I want to, come on. This right here, this contemporary bracket, is the one I'm thinking of. I think maybe I can make this bigger. Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of the John Hancock Tower, quite frankly, but I think it's cool. We would have one on each end. You would, see, we'd use nice screws, but you would see them, but it kind of opens up the space and gives that decorative element. And then the feet this is very similar to that one that is on your dresser. So it would be a little tall, so that is what I'm thinking there. And so I'm working with getting that all pulled together. Your reach-in closet was a little bit bigger, which is terrific. So Toby's reach-in closet, I added a column of shelves because I think this can give you plenty of space for your longer garments, but you really could get the overflow of shoes into this space. So I like that idea. Which reminds me again, another thing that I am incorporating into this closet that I think is going to make it look really good is that instead of using just the 3/4 inch material, I've actually specified a material that is 1 1/8 inch thick for all of these elements in the walk-in. It just looks really more substantial and really cool. And I think that you'll really like it when you see it. It just really upgrades the look. So that is what I'm working on. Why don't you give me some feedback on if you like those corbels, if you, I think the legs would be fine, but what your thoughts are on this would all be 12 inches deep, particularly with if we want a couple of angled shoe shelves. If you just want to go straight, adjustable shelves, because then I'm thinking purses could be here, then we can step it back to the 10 inches and go with that. So this was really just more of an idea of a display and looking cool and how it was pretty, but still functional. And don't worry about this. It's just I needed to show an obstacle, and I can't seem to get the light switch thing. Anyway, so that is just a quick update for you, and I will be back in touch with you as soon as I get the right information for you on the pricing. So I'm working on that as quickly as I can, but give me your feedback on the other elements. That'd be helpful. Thanks.